Hello, what it do? I just want to show you how to make buildups, how to make transitions from buildups to the drop and from the drop to the breakdown. I just want to show you how to transition and build tension and how I do it. If you guys enjoy this, please leave a comment, a like, or a subscription. And let's get down. All right, so I'm going to show you how I made my buildup in my newest flip, which is the Bia J. Cole London flip, some heavy dubstep. The download is free and you can stream it on SoundCloud. That's in the description. But this is the buildup and the drop.
Money, dreamer, running the game, and my fingers just trainers. Balenciaga, Balenciaga, the heights, like up to the hood to arena. Dreamer, running the game, and my fingers just trainers. Balenciaga, Balenciaga, the heights, like up to the hood to arena. As outside in crooks and shambles.
Yeah, boy. My buildups are usually about 32 bars long. There's two sections of the buildup, the breakdown and the actual build. So the actual building section is 16 bars, but the 16 bars before it are important. Usually in a song, I have like a little intro section or whatever, and then we transition to the break and it slowly starts building. So we're going to look at the sections here. As soon as it starts to break down, we have all this effects that plays. So all this is like atmospheric, background tension. I'll show basically. So we choose this. It's in D minor. It's in our key. It's building tension. We automate the volume to slowly bring it up. These over here are like cool effects. Breath. Beep. You know, just random effects. We have impacts, obviously. Big ones. Then we have white noise sweeps down. With another impacts. Okay, so if you see here, my buildups are usually about 16 bars long. And when the buildup actually starts, it's going to have a lot of impacts and sweeps that kind of introduce it and will slowly bring up the volume and the tension and the pitch so that we can lead into our drop. First thing I want you to listen to is just the effects that are happening here. So basically, we have a lot of atmospheres, right? And some of these are in F minor. So if I have something that's in F minor, I'm going to tune it to D minor. That's what we did here. This is the first one. Something all atmospheric. Not really concerned about EQing these, but turning them up is something I usually do, like Drip TT, turning it up here. I like to have little war horns or alarms during it to add tension. So alarm has reverb on it to bring us into a big space. 14 seconds of decay. We just want to make it sound crazy. While that's playing, we have this other. It's -17, so I pitched it to D minor and then I turned it down an octave, which is -12 semitones. Complex Pro. Added some formants. Added more atmosphere. And then just impacts. So while these impacts play, we have war horns, violin, melodies, and some reverse vocals. So basically, we're just adding a lot of different sounds so that we can fill out the frequency range, right? You want to fill all the lows, the mids, and the highs and start cleaning them up if it sounds too much. Important is also the drums. So we'll get into these here. As soon as the buildup starts, you have a kick. And you slowly start to bring in the kick. Snares playing. So remember, leave your section for the pre-drop, usually about 2 bars here, but the kicks will slowly start to build. Usually your build-up needs to have a kick. It adds awesome feel, but it doesn't need to. It's definitely preference, but in loud bass music, I really do recommend it. When the kick plays, there's a side chain for the kick, just to make sure everything else lowers in volume during the build for this kick. That's cool effect. Also, as you see here, the kick is actually building with this auto filter. So when the when the breakdown starts, the kick doesn't have a lot of high frequencies playing. We're slowly bringing them in as the kick builds. You want to do this. This is a good trick to do a lot. Bring in your frequencies with the filter. While the kick is playing, we have snares. First sound is this hat though. So you have these hats playing like this. This is bringing movement and energy right away as soon as the breakdown happens. Listen here.
I'm still killing them single-handed.
While those are playing, I have claps coming in. They're slowly building in volume. Just quarter note. If you see two, one clap's loud, other clap's soft. With most of the things, I'll do that. Make it loud and then a soft one, and then just pattern that. So we start building with hats, claps, and snares. Snares right here. This is a little snare loop I consolidate. I'll just get trap snares, build them up. So I consolidated it here so I can actually rise up the pitch. Rise up the pitch with this snare. We also add more snares. This is like a loop. Chop it up. And then this section I times it by 2, divided it by 2 to make it go even faster. And while all those are playing, we have war drums. So this is bringing a lot of tension, adding a lot of build. This is also rising in volume. When we start getting to the build though, we want to start looping the drums. So we start looping it. We'll let that run. Cool. Those are the drums. All right. But we also need vocal builds during the drop. So we build up this vocal.
Single-handed.
Single-handed. Single-handed.
So I just let it go.
Single-handed.
And when the build starts. So then now we have 2 different sections of vocals, 81 and 84. And they're 2 different phrases, right? This one's just hey, and then this one is mun. So we basically would have one that looks like this. I'm going to show you how I made it. Then you duplicate them. You make them all fast. And then you go here. You use your fades too. I always use my fades to fade them like this, so there's no clicks. Then as soon as you have your little build-up vocal, you highlight them all. Hit Command J. Or right click and hit consolidate. And then when you have this, you start going complex, warp. You go to the clip, and then you can start actually automating the pitch. It'll say transposition. You'll automate the transposition. Then after you do that, you have your vocal builds. You want to basically resample the basses in your song, and you want to like tease it before the actual drop. So this was the last thing I did, and it really completed it. It sounds like this. The tease. Look at the filter. Look at our EQ. EQ's cutting out the lows. And the filter is slowly bringing in the frequencies as it builds up.
As outside in corks and shambles.
So that teased the main bass. And the way you do that is you make a Command T, new audio track. Go ahead and solo all of your mids, all your basses. And then you'll go ahead and record that. Make sure you hit resampling on this audio track. Hit record, and then hit the record button. This will record all the basses. Then after you record it, you can go ahead and put it in the section while it's building. Go ahead and add your effects, the EQ, and the auto filter, and make sure you automate the frequency here just so that you can bring in the sound. So it sounds like this. You can just bring it in however you like. And yeah, that's how you make the tease, which is a very important section of the build-up, and I recommend it. It's amazing. Remember your impacts, remember your drums, remember your vocals. Remember, you want to pitch things with transposition. You want to use risers. So the risers we're using are just simple risers like this. Or this. We have white noise playing. More risers. And in the pre-drop, we just cut a little bit of the section from one of the atmospheres. Right here and right here. And we let that run right to pre-drop.
As outside in corks and shambles.
And that is how we make build-ups that are dope, cool, that actually make sense. Transition your tracks wisely and build up your tracks amazingly. I hope you guys enjoy this. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want racks, projects, and basses, they're in my Patreon. Get this song in the description. Download it, share it. I hope you guys like this. Have a good night, and peace out. I'll later.